Howdy, folks. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. This is John, your GM. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update because we're still not quite to the weekly release schedule just yet. Scheduling can be a very tricky thing, and with the type of work that we do, things could change at a moment's notice. So as soon as things change, I'll let you know here in the intro to our episodes, as well as over on our Twitter account at These Demon Dayz. And, yeah, we appreciate your patience, and we love you all. And now, let's get to today's episode, shall we?
Friends, fiends! Remember that awesome stronghold that our heroes found last time we spoke? Well, it's fine, I guess. What, me, jealous? Nope, no way, no sirree. I am no way jealous that our heroes got to ride a robotic train under a mysterious mountain and find a sweet underground fortress rich in lore and evil plant life. And you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just jump right into these Demon Dayz.
You emerge from the modern train car onto a short stone bridge that ends at a massive stone stronghold. This is Fallhold. From your vantage, you venture a guess that from one side of the fortress to the other is just shy of about 300 feet. In the middle, you see a large metal double door that looks to be in good condition. Atop the doorframe is a stone carving that depicts a multi-horned creature, and above that you notice a parapet that seemingly traverses the perimeter of this underground fortress. That leads your eyes to two watchtowers on either side of the double doors, and a large ballista sits on each one of those, and they're aimed in your direction. If you want to do a perception check...
Oh, I would love to. I would love nothing more than to do that.
Right up Fetter's alley right there.
19.
18 perception.
I'll remind everyone that my passive perception is 24.
I'm too distracted by Fetter, apparently, because I rolled a 9.
Okay, cool, yeah. They're unmanned. You don't see anyone up there.
Sweet.
And yeah, the doors are before you to this stronghold, and that's where we'll begin.
Taz, Yusuf, does that look like anyone you recognize? I point up to the bust over the doors and see if it rings any bells. Is there a history check or something I could get about on that?
Yeah, you can do a history check.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
not great.
Holy shit. 17 history for me?
5.
It's still better than me. I got 4. So, no, it doesn't look like anybody at all.
Okay,
Looks like stone.
Yusuf, you recognize that this is a generalized, stereotypical tiefling infernal head. So there's nothing specific. It's all meant to evoke.
Got it. I don't think it's really anyone.
Wow, so it's just like a caricature, like a cartoon? Are we cartoon? Are we jokes?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a really nice caricature. Like, if someone were to make this for me on a beach walkway, I would be impressed.
To them, I suppose. Sure. Bit of a stereotype, but sure. I bet.
Yeah, I'm a little insulted.
I bet that has hellish rebuke or something, you know what I mean? Like, God, I get it.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I'm resistant to fire damage. Boo. All right, fine.
Not everyone can be special like us.
Yeah, true. Well, shall we?
Real quick, John, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Did we get a rest before we got here? Did we have all our stuff back, or we're still current with what we were at?
Yeah, you got everything back.
Okay, so long rest.
Oh, yeah.
Check. All right, cool.
Sure, let's just keep on walking right into a tomb up underground. Yeah.
So as we're kind of walking in, I don't know, I'll check the door for any obvious traps. That's a rogue thing that rogues do. So I remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing as opposed to everything else. That is a 23 on the front door to see if it's intrepid.
I'm going to pull my sword as well so that that's out, so that people are getting that.
It is not intrepid. Fetter, that you can tell, It's heavy and thick. If anything, this wouldn't be the type of door to put a trap in, because it's just solid. You knock on it, the sound dies. And yeah, it looks like it's a 2-person job to get this sucker open with a strength check.
Anyone feeling limber? That's not really my specialty. Sonny, want to come prove you're used to everyone? I'm just not great at heaving things, and I'm not afraid. I'm secure enough in my personhood to admit that.
Right on. And she grasps onto the door and looks to Yusuf. Yeah, you lead the way.
Yeah, I'll help out. Is this a strength check then?
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. I got 8. So she's mainly not doing a whole lot. You get the door open maybe about a quarter of the way, so maybe Feder could slip through, but you need to do another pull at it to get at it.
15.
Okay, Sunny this time crit.
She apparently was really upset that she was distracted by Yusuf's bulging muscles.
Oh yeah, she saw the muscles the first time, like, oh my god. Mm-hmm. So with the two of you, you open the door the rest of the way. It makes a loud scraping on the stone. The door hasn't been opened in a while, and yeah, you get it open and have access to Fallhold. Immediately inside, you come into a large nexus that branches off in 4 directions. Straight ahead and southward, seemingly to the other side of the fortress, to your right and westward, and to your left and eastward, and north back the way you came. Given how rough the Dwerendel looked when you were there, you're a bit surprised to see that this place is relatively in good condition, minus a few thick, pulsating vines that have grown through some of the cracks in the walls, in the corners, and kind of the seams of some of the rocks. There are some deep purple banners hanging at intervals along the walls, and large faded and cracked paintings in between those. You notice 4 statues surrounding a dried-out central fountain, and all those statues feature carvings of various bodies entwined in either combat or lovemaking. And on the central fountain, you see yet another statue detailing and confirming what's only been hinted at before, the unmistakable form of the Raven Queen piercing her enemy through the chest from behind with a rather long sword, whose point appears to be morphing into a depiction of feathers, and her free hand clutches the arm of her victim at the wrist.
Son of a bitch.
Taslan, closer inspection for you shows a depiction of her face, which is something you've never really seen now that you think about it when you're communing with her. It's always that porcelain
mask, yeah.
You see a lot of life to this carving. It's tense, fierce, pained. You also notice that it's a lot more elvish than you initially thought. It's hard to tell in any of the visions she's given you that the mask has always been cherubic, big, like more rounded, a little bit more baby face, and
like an absolute lie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You also notice that the victim has his free hand covering one of his eyes.
I'm gonna take my journal out and start sketching it, because I'm getting that sucker on paper, taking a picture of it as we can in this day and age.
Yeah, it's just like a scan line, like
right
there it is.
Now hold on. And I'll look just as I'm looking around to the other portraits that are hanging up. Let's run through the lease agreements on this place, right? Previous owners include some sort of cult trying to bring back one of the Dragon Lords, right? Help me remember here, folks. I'm trying to. What did we know that the Raven Queen had something to do down here, or should I come back in and act really surprised?
That would depend on if Taslan told you some of the things, like...
No, I did. That little vision that we had. Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, we looked up a lot of history stuff, too, on this, didn't we? On the tower? Like the mountain, like who else had... We knew the Titan, we knew there was a dragon from a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah, the Titan, the Titan, the cult, I think the Whispered One.
Sure.
Yeah, I told them about her saying, like, being found where where she slew the Whispered One, and a foul tressum, and finding the Fortress of Sorrows. That's what she called it.
Ah, Fortress of Sorrows. Fun. Right, so she slew the Whispered One. Right, got it. Okay.
So that must be the Whispered One. I think the most information that we've gotten about this particular fortress and whether it exists would be from what the Raven Queen gave me in that vision, because even Yusuf's patron only talked about the Titan, didn't talk about a fortress.
Yeah, no, I had no idea this was here. I know there's a hand. The hand of the Titan is here someplace.
Although, would I know that the person that she's slaying and covering his part of his face, would I know that is the Whispered One? Would you want me to roll knowledge?
Yeah, maybe roll...
Arcana?
Yeah, maybe go Arcana, because with a character like this, just a plain history wouldn't be necessarily enough.
21.
21?
Yeah.
There are rumblings or mumblings that have never made their way to like paper or text, but you hear things every now and then. Random cultists who are looking for some new chaotic person to follow or deity to follow, but some people try to talk in whispered tones about this particular person. So you could maybe infer it.
Okay.
It's harder to place than any of the histories and Arcana histories that you have studied thus far.
I'm thoroughly invested in giving this place a good once-over, and one thing that we did in the tower for a bit, Fee was a big fan of placing weird, buttons or activators in all of her statuary. So I'm going to do a little eye for detail check on the fountain and the statues and see if there's like a Batman-style little button somewhere or a switch or something like that that is not obvious.
Sure.
To us. So, dirty 20.
Yeah, you don't actually notice anything on the statues. But what you do notice before Taslim gets there, because she's now deep in drawing this statue, you get there before she does. At the bottom of the statue, you see that it starts to flare out into collages of different elements.
Is this is it almost like a victory statue? Like they took, vanquished armor and bits of that and like melted it all down and built this thing?
Sort of. It's a history. Similar to how Yusuf, when he told you guys about that paper that had that poster of the prophecies and all that, that seemed to be more historic in nature. That seems to be the case, although it's not clear if the history is from the top down or the bottom up.
Right.
Because a lot of it's not as chronologically accurate. But the thing you do notice, you see a multi-headed dragon down there pop up on one little side. A few of the heads have been broken off. And where the base connects to the ground, you see 5 finger points just holding the statue. So it looks like this is a depiction of a statue holding these events in place. And with your intuition, Feder, you wouldn't imagine that that's the hand. That can't be the hand. It's not big.
Yeah.
It's not a Titan hand.
So she's holding him, like stabbing through him and holding his wrist. Is he missing a hand as well?
No.
Okay.
So if anything, it would infer that the hand's not gone yet. You'd have to do some rolls on history to even feel like that's the next step on it.
I mean, I'll give it a well, I mean, I wouldn't know either way because I don't know how much I know about the Whispered One, but
the pose is very particular in that that's not a pose anyone would make being stabbed in the back. It's very specific to a carving.
Yeah.
Like
14 history, not much.
Not much. The wires are starting to connect a little bit. That the pose is the clue to who the Whispered One or this statue is, but it's not connecting quite yet.
Interesting.
But if you guys want to do any investigation rolls on the paintings, might be a little bit more specific.
I'll do it with an eye for detail. Not my best roll, but still a 12.
Not bad. So one of the paintings stands out immediately from that, and it's a naked man atop a griffin in flight through a storm.
Wait, we know this one. This is the dirty book.
Yep. Fantastic. Tristan's Naked the Griffin Ride, I think it was titled.
Wow, he made it down here, huh? Weird.
Or at least the painting did.
I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna have to read that book again.
Maybe the book was inspired by the painting.
Yeah, I can't imagine the touristry business in the Fallhold is particularly big. But speaking of particularly big, and I nudge Yusuf. You think he'd be bigger than the Griffin, but whatever. Anyway, what else am I looking at?
Feder, the next one you come to, you know this one just because it's in any book about elves in general. The painted depiction of the tragedy of Corellon Lorethian, the progenitor of all the elvish race. You see that this takes a very similar tack to the story being told from the top to the bottom. In broad strokes, you see that Corellon took many forms on a whim, and that was his joy. And from him was formed many of the other elvish deities, and from that, one broke off. You'll notice that she has a very spider-like form. And then you see near where the spiderish elf branches off from Coraline, you also see, the same as the depiction in the statue, what looks to be the Raven Queen, and feathers ferrying it off in a different path. But she looks much more elf-like, almost similar to Eladrin. The long ears, more angular features, a lot more characterized versus other depictions. And at her side through most of these depictions is a strange winged cat.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, if I was paying attention to that picture, like I'd notice that. Well, that's a tressum.
Right. From the prophecy thing.
Yeah.
What, that? The
Yeah.
winged cat? That's a tressum?
That's a tressum.
It's like a shaggy, grumpy cat with weird eagle wings.
There's like a trail of feathers that's leading and it off, is what you said?
Yeah, and Tazlin, since you've kind of moved on from the statue to that, again, you're struck by just how very specifically elven or elvish she appears in these, because she's hidden this from you up until this point. It's jarring to you to see a youthful Raven Queen. The only thing I can attribute it to is if you look at an old photo album of yourself as a kid, maybe teenage years, and you're just like, wow.
I used to look like that? What?
Yeah. The big afro and full beard. Who looked like that in high school?
Right.
Right. It is that same level of just disconcertedness that you feel.
Taz, remind me, what did the tressum have to do with the prophecy on your side?
I kind of flip through my book a little bit and find the page, and she said, "You will find me where I slew the Whispered One," and I very pointedly look at the statue.
Statue? Yeah.
"Atop the hand of a Titan and a foul tressum," point at the cat,
Yeah.
"can guide you to my fortress of sorrows where clarity awaits."
Oh, so this might not be the Fortress of Sorrows.
Possibly not, but I wonder what those feathers are doing.
Yusuf, as they're conversing this, roll a tools check maybe? Yeah.
I'm roughly sketching the portrait as well. In my head, she's got great artistic skills. Very different from me. I have no artistic skills.
You finish your drawing of the statue, it's like a circle,
It's
two
just
dots,
a stick
and a
figure.
wobbly line with like big ears. Like the ears are detailed, and you're like, whoa, I should have gone to art school.
I can draw feathers and trees. That's it. That's all I can draw.
So that plus 4, it's going to be a 19.
Good. Yeah, that was pretty much just past what I needed you to get. They're mentioning like how this isn't the Fortress of Sorrows, or this isn't the Titan. It's like, you know from building stuff that it's like a marker almost. A marker and a history rolled into one. And
Right. Got it. Where is the painting that has her with the tressum on it? Next to where I'm standing?
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to move down this hallway and see if there's another painting with a tressum on it.
As you go down that hallway, you don't see any other paintings along that wall. You see that at the very end, the doorway there is completely overgrown with the thickest vines you've ever seen. And the thick vines are almost breathing. Feder, you pick it up on your heavy perception. Just like a little...
Interesting. Do y'all know any plants that breathe?
Not good ones.
Taz, sound like any magicy stuff that you've heard of?
I mean, plants breathe, but are you talking about our breathing?
Not like photosynthesis, not sciencey time, like inhale, exhale, like it's swelling and shrinking.
What's all this? And I point to the other room that I'm standing in front of with that looks like dead bodies.
As everyone kind of first focuses on that, pulsating vines, Yusuf, you just kind of look over and you see a bit of a disconcerting sight. And it's in this courtyard area just past that doorway, you see a bunch of humanoid-shaped stone statues with their weapons raised, seemingly in the middle of combat. If you go further, I can describe more.
I was like, Yusuf, why don't I just sneak ahead? You stay where you are and let me see if I can kind of sneak around the outside wall and get a better sense of things.
Okay.
So I will try to do a little sneaky sneak, like just hugging the wall and try to get around to about the middle of the room.
Okay.
Very slowly. And again, do an eye for detail scan of the room for anything hidden, anything that doesn't look completely statuey. Like anything that might want to move on me.
Right. And you're rolling stealth, right? Did I ask you to do that yet?
Oh yeah, I'll roll the stealth first. Oh, not super. 12 for stealth.
Okay. Yeah, as you head in, you start to kind of sneak around. You notice once you're inside and descend down these stairs into this wider courtyard, that a lot of those vines you saw at that doorway, there's a lot more of them, and that they all, from all ends, kind of seem to converge onto this, what looks to be another cathedral. It's a weird motif to see in a weird open courtyard. More intact than before, like than the one that you saw in Dwerendelv, but much more locally than that.
Right.
You notice that, all the statues are there, and they're very much in combat. Expressive faces, some in alarm. There's even one that looks like it's running, and a lot of pieces are broken off of each one of them. You'll see that like one has their arm missing, one has the head missing, and you notice that weak vines, regular moss and overgrowth kind of covering all of them. And farthest from you, on just to the south of the cathedral itself, you see a dried out fountain and more vines just choking it. And the air here is even a little bit more humid than even just out where you were.
All right, I'll do my eye for detail.
Sure.
Check on any hidden stuff. 26.
And you're still moving in, or did you move back? Are you moving back?
I'll continue to kind of just do a lap around the room.
Sure. And you see from where you are at, towards the north end of this vined courtyard, that there's two sets of stairs going up to what you can only assume is the one of the towers you saw from out by the train. And you imagine, since it's all very square, that there's probably other towers. And as you've passed by, you were able to get enough of a view inside the cathedral to see another stone statue that looks different from all the others. The quickest association in your mind is armor like Yusuf's, almost paladin-like.
Sure. Before I head to the front of the cathedral, I'll just head up into this corner and just, just kind of complete the full kind of counterclockwise loop around this courtyard, and then head to the cathedral building towards the center of it.
Yeah, and Feder, with your size, it's not too bad on the north side of this cathedral wall. But as you get to the back, there's so much more vines there that you're still able to squeeze in there. But it stinks. You're getting moss and ichor all over you. You'll have to press the digipen quite a bit as you do a loop through the alleys that surround this cathedral.
Okay.
And then climb over the vegetation, over the fountain. It's maybe not the most badass way to get around there.
Yeah.
But it gives you the information you need to know that at least there's nothing hidden in the corners back there on the outside.
Okay. Yusuf, this looks like one of yours in here. You want to come check it out with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna, as I'm walking up, John, I'm gonna take a look at the guy in front of me, the statue.
Okay.
Does it look like they were like in stride, like they got frozen in place, or does it look like this statue was created?
Roll a d20 and add just your proficiency for combat tactics as a paladin, things you would have learned in your time.
Would any clues like that have popped up in my eye for detail check? The 26 I rolled looking at those guys, like anything really stand out about them?
Yeah, you notice too, Feder, the ones that stand out to you the most are the ones that aren't exactly like sword and shield. There are some that are even more similar to your tactics that look like they're a little bit more trying to get around, trying to flank.
Right.
Would this be history, I'm assuming, because tactics?
Sure, yeah, history, and then add your proficiency in it.
It's only gonna be a 13.
You kind of get the vibe that he was trying to run, but it's hard to tell because that particular one's head is gone, so you're not able to get an expression from context, and the body is turning in mid-turn to run, so you think so. You think it's...
I'll look for one with a head.
Okay. The middle one...
I'm gonna move over to that one. Does it have eyelashes or no?
You look close and you see some bumps where like eyelashes would be. If you were to carve eyelashes into stone, how like finite that would be. You kind of notice something like that, some irregularity there.
Yusuf, you getting weird basilisk feelings?
A little bit, yeah. I'm curious if I was trying to see if these were turned to stone or if they were just really well made.
Yeah. But
I'm getting he's got his sword out, but like he moves a little bit closer to Feder so that he's in the aura of it.
Yeah.
He kind of, is this door open in the cathedral?
Yeah, the door to the cathedral has been long since rotted away. You see pieces of it on the ground.
At the threshold, I want to do a trap check.
Okay, and while you're going to do that, Tazlin, are you with them or are you moving to different parts of the place?
No, I'm not with them. They, after I finished drawing the portrait, I headed back to take a look at the vines. Obviously, don't really know a lot. I was going to ask Sunny, but Sunny is, off following her boy crush. And so I popped into this room that's I'm being a terrible party person and investigating away from the party, which terrifies me. But we're doing it. So I went into this room that has like the
Which room? The room to the south of.
Yeah, that has it looks like a purple runner. Yeah, so the room to the south.
Yeah.
I kind of like popped in to look at that immediate room that's to the south that you could kind of notice there were beds, but I just kind of like poked my head in and then kept walking.
Yeah. So while Fetter's doing his roll quick, I'm going to swing over to you, Teslin, because you've kind of pivoted from the vines. You're not getting very much from it. And again, you looked over like, Sunny, what about?
Yeah.
And you go into this room and it's recognizable even to you. This function is clearly known. You've been through a few cities and towns before that have similar setups. This is a forge. This room is in great condition. There's a large brazier and a hearth, anvils, large pots of dirty water. You see some shelves and places to set finished works, although they're all empty. Table and shelf filled with papers and manuals. Notice all this on the basic level. You'd have to do a check investigation to get anything more.
No, I'm basically in my head, I'm like, cool, Yusuf will like this, walk back out.
Yeah.
23, checking for traps.
23, and remind me that
just around this threshold and kind of what I can see looking inside. I'm looking for floor plates. I'm looking for anything, that would trigger when we walked into this cathedral.
you don't notice anything mechanical that sets off here. This is a trap. But you notice there's a lot more vines in here that are doing that pulsating thing. And as you try to kind of all the tests you do as your rogue self, the vines seem to inhale a little bit, as if they recognize there is carbon-based material here. Like something's here, raise a little bit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Are we talking carnivorous plants?
Yeah, this plant's eyeing me like dinner. I don't know, Yusuf.
Maybe the roots of a giant Venus flytrap.
Shall we continue forward, Yusuf?
We're still talking about the vines over here, or are there some in the room that I'm not seeing?
No, there's vines all over the room, right, John? Like all over the floor and the walls and the...
Yes, all the vines are heading from outside the courtyard into this cathedral.
Right.
And it's thick in here. It's thick inside just from looking through the doorway. It's thick. The walls are covered.
But all the roots, if I'm tracing root systems, everything comes into this cathedral. Yeah?
Yes. Yep, and it keeps heading in further into the cathedral too. You can kind of peek as you're doing your trap checking and see that they're heading straightway toward the back. But it's a little bit hard to gauge exactly what that is just because you're a little bit off to the side of Yusuf. And Yusuf still has a better view, but you'd have to go in just to see, kind of make out better details.
Do you want me to... I'll slip in there, but you be ready with a moonbeam or some big nuke to torch this plant, right? If it gets handsy.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. What is the are the vines green or are they brown? Is there do they look healthy or do they look malnourished, or what's the...
You'd have to do a nature check on that.
Okay. No, it's only a 6.
From looking inside and just the way the dark vision works, things are a little bit muted. You would assume it's green because it's a very basic grayish. If you had some light or something to light up the place, you might be able to get some details, but you can pretty confidently say that given how basic and blah the gradient palette is in this room, it's probably green.
Okay.
Why don't I slip in there and just be ready to chop away at things if you need to? Or do you want to, or do we want to... Have you seen Taz? Taz? Where's our glass cannon? She should come in here and just get ready to light shit up. Taz!
Teslin.
Remember me fondly, and I'll slap him on the ass, and then I'll just sneak in. I'll sneak into the...
Wait, what? No,
And just stealth my way in through the vine, like stepping very carefully, trying to step over the vines and things like that.
Yeah, Feder, as you get inside, you see, again, vegetation all over the place. It's overgrown and thick. You notice the smell of rot and decay here, a lot stronger now that you've entered in. You see a little bit more movement along all the vines as vegetation seems to undulate. And you're noticing it more. Now that you've kind of keyed into it from the beginning, you also notice too that as you're walking through into this cathedral, the terrain is difficult. You do get a better view of the statue that's in the middle of this place, though. It's a lone stone statue kneeling in the middle of the room, and you see it's a statue of a tiefling female with long braided hair and horns that angle out from the bridge of her nose, almost like exaggerated eyebrows. And the chainmail is ornate. Just, you can even see in the stone the etchings and the designs. You don't recognize the motif there, but, Yusuf might know if you ask him.
Right.
Then straight ahead from your vantage, you also do see the back wall is just covered with different flowers and mounds all moving.
Yeah.
And you squint a little bit, that might be corpses in the wall. You see a hand sticking out. It's like, can that be true? You'd have to get closer to identify anything.
Oh, how fun.
Or, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eye for detail, but for hidden creatures in the room. Things that I can't quite, like if I'm looking through the vines and noting hands and corpses, I want to use the old eye for detail. Yeah, spot a hidden creature or object.
Okay.
Not great. 13.
You think you sense a pattern, like, because you see like, oh, that might be an arm. There's another arm.
Right.
But you're not quite connecting if there's a centralized location for it. It all seems to move and sway and same, and almost like a floater in your eye, where it's like, it's there, it moves with it. You're not getting enough context in the very vague gray undulatingness of it.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of point generally in that direction. As I look at Yusuf, like what I want to do is like I'm talking to Yusuf, but I'm also making hand gestures in that direction of like something's moving. And I'd be like, any other tiefling paladins, Yusuf?
Haslin, while you were away, the characters all did shout your name. They recognized that you weren't there with them, and then they shouted your name. So you would have heard that. But whether you come back to their call is up to you.
I probably would have shouted back, just going, yep, still here. And I actually would have, unless they had like wanted me to come, I probably would have gone back to the portrait to take a look at the feathers, because you said that the feathers were like going off in a like leading direction, right? Yeah, I would have gone back there to try and see if I could follow those.
Okay, back to the picture. Let's put you there.
Yeah.
Then unless, did any of you guys call her again, or?
I mean, I would have not. Yeah, I stopped because she wasn't actually there, and that's just mean to do.
Yeah, I came down into this room, but I didn't see her.
Yeah.
And then I came back up.
I'd be like, Sonny, you should go grab Taz if you wouldn't mind.
So she'll run after Taz, and Taz, you do get over there, and just as Sunny is catching up to you, she waits for you to kind of look at the picture and determine that. As you look at it, you see that the offshoot is not symbolic other than just it was separate from Coralon. So there's Coralon, there's a spider, and then there's Raven Queen. It's just a separation, a division, a schism. There's no like deeper meaning other than that.
Ugh.
There's no path to follow.
It is away because it is away that direction. Almost a Trinitarian split from Coralon down.
I'll just start walking back while angrily muttering under my breath. Just trying to... God damn it. Can't be helpful at all. Like, of course not. Just doesn't... Not
you do
helpful.
notice that Sunny, as she's walking you back, Sunny has not said anything. She's just watching you very intently, like very curious, but realizing that, no, I'm not going to say anything. Just let her work through it. And you both join everyone to see. Feder has gone inside this cathedral-like structure, and Yusuf is standing at the threshold.
So I've pointed out to Yusuf that I see something moving around in the undulations, and I'm going to creep forward to the statue and do the same like eye for detail check on the statue for hidden stuff, either trappy or put the big red gem here, Resident Evil style. Like anything like that on it. 19 on the die. Makes for a 28.
Okay. As you examine it, you notice that the etchings, the motifs on the paladin armor are infernal in design. Mm-hmm. So if she was a part of one of the hells, but it's not Dis, but her eyes and her brows are opened in surprise. That as you trace it, you realize that the kneeling is what may have once been prayer, but it started to break apart.
Right. Yusuf, we got another maybe live one in here. Looks like another one of the hells.
I'll go in.
Okay. And Yusuf, as you walk in, you do notice that the ground itself is difficult.
I'll swing around to the side while he's just to let him get close. Be like, look at her face, man. Like, that doesn't look... I mean, I've seen some good art, but that's a little too real, yeah?
She kind of looks past her to the wall.
Okay.
Like, whatever she was looking at.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing. I want to follow, without, locking eyes to it, I want to very slowly trace the path of like where her eye, like what she's looking at, but like with like one hand up, right? I don't want to get the whole way there, but I want to try to at least clock what she was looking at.
It's only a 12 perception for me.
You don't get much from her gaze, but there's something else you get more specifically. I'll get to you in a second. But Feder, you do notice that where she's looking, if you track it using kind of your eye best guess, there seems to be a little bit more hands or arms or rotted faces more congregating around that central section.
I'll tap Yusuf on the shoulder and just be like, big sack of bodies on the wall?
Yeah, and then Yusuf, getting back to you, you notice the armor right away. The motif is from Kania, a higher rank, one that might be closer to M than you've ever gotten. You recognize that motif because you've at one time desired it.
So she's one of his blackguard?
You can infer that from that.
Good. I kind of like look at Feder and kind of nod to the armor. I was like, had things not changed, I might very well be wearing this same armor.
Oh, Mephistopheles? Yeah. Oh, fun. This is one of the big guys, yeah? One of the bad boys?
It's one of his private guard.
Perfect.
No, it's very bad. What is this chapel devoted to? Can we tell?
It's hard to tell. You'd have to do a very difficult, maybe...
Religion?
Yeah, with a little bit of an extra difficulty, because there's some things that poke through, but there's so much vine. You can see that there's shape of altar, but maybe not necessarily the angles of it.
Yeah, no. 13. Religion. I have no religion. Check. I'm not even proficient in it.
It could just be any altar that you've ever seen before. Even some of the seats that could have been like seating for this cathedral, like just look standard. Everything looks kind of basic under the weight of a vine blanket.
Okay.
So, Sonny, you're good with plants and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. I can speak to plants. Are you wanting me to try and communicate with these vines and see what their deal is?
Yeah. Do you know any plants that breathe?
Well, not in this sense. And she kneels down at the threshold, kind of where Feder had checked and cleared.
Grow this far deep underground?
She expends her spell slot and kneels down and starts to work the plants over, if you will, and starts speaking, muttering under her breath. And it takes a while, and she strains at it. And there's something, at least fighting her at this. She's able to at least hear from it. She looks up at you like, I can't actually communicate myself to it. I was able to get something from it. My spell is a bit stymied by this. It seems to be waking. There's a liveliness to it.
Yeah. When she says waking, I look at Yusuf and start doing like some like SWAT hand signals that are like you and me out. And then I point at the corpse ball and then I'm like, boom. And then I nod and then I want to start to creep back out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay, as you start to move both of you out, Yusuf, do a stealth roll.
Awesome.
Let me pick up the second die because I'm disadvantaged at this.
Armor man.
Oh God, mine was a 22, just for everybody's.
Oh man, I rolled a 17 and a 7, so that's an 8.
So okay, so Feder, Yusuf, you're still closer to about the statue starting to move, and Feder, you're closer to the door. Mm-hmm. Feder, you've already made the path. You're getting to the door when you feel the vibration of the vines get very agitated, and from the spot that you looked at, you see the shape of this bulbous, flowery thing shift and almost detach from the wall a bit and lean forward with a sickening. And out comes a very bulbous, large plant with huge flowers that open up. And in each of the flowers, you see corpses dangling out. And that's where we'll start initiative.
I'd like to argue that we don't have anyone named Seymour here, so we shouldn't have to feed this plant and can just
The Seymour clause?
Suddenly Seymour. This is not good. I'm going at a 4.
Okay. Oh my God. Natural fun, kids. Natural fun. It's the best kind.
I knew this was a Venus flytrap situation.
And then, Sunny's still got a roll. Let me pull her out too.
Sonny, what the hell is this?
4. It's bad. It's fucking bad. All right. She gets to be with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Don't make it weird.
So at the that was the DM making it weird. Make it weird. Make it weird.
I'm still determined to get Yusuf late again. Like,
well, maybe now is not the best time. Like, we should probably read the room and maybe survive.
Oh yeah, well no, look.
When we're fighting a carnivorous live plant.
Look, there's a whole market for people that would happily see the plant and the vines in Yusuf. I'm just saying, it exists.
Oh God.
I'm sure there's a whole market that would happily see the plant and the vines in all of us.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure if you, the players, asked very nicely, there might be some artist out there who would be so willing to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Make it so.
KiloWhat, thank you for the falling fetter
Yeah, knows what's up.
bit that you did.
That was fucking amazing.
Like, that was hilarious. I will say though, the menagerie picture, fucking dope. Like,
We might need somebody a little bit filthier than KiloWhat for what I'm imagining for this.
for the vine tentacles. Oh yeah.
wow. Well, now you've challenged her. Now that's gonna happen.
And it's in a church. Like, what a delight. I'm thrilled about all of this.
A church with vines. Let's just see. I'm setting up the pins to be knocked down, right? That's what we're doing. I'm
Pretty much.
We're getting some serious contemporary challenges right now.
All right.
So yeah, at the beginning of combat, at the top of the round, the plant, this giant bulbous plant thing, has sort of detached but not fallen off the wall. It is now like it's standing if the wall is the ground, and it's starting to wobble, and it's ready for combat. You sense it's coming up soon in the initiative order, but Tazlin actually gets the first kind of whiff of something happening and is able to do her action first.
Well, it seems very clear that this plant is attempting to eat people who come near. So I'm just not going to mince words, and I will drop a shatter on it. So this guy, shatter, is great. So it's a 10-foot sphere, which you guys are out of, which is great. And I have to roll a lot of things. a lot of things. It will get a save, con save.
Okay. Let's see. Con save. Gotcha. Okay. I rolled a 9.
Okay, it failed that save. Hardcore. What? That was nice. Okay. I can do maths. I totally can.
Oh.
Hey, I know 8 plus 8 is 16, alright? It's the next number that throws me off.
What's the next number?
7. So it's gonna take
25.
No.
23, buddy.
23.
22.
No, 23.
23.
Do you want to talk to me about math again, sweetie?
You said 8 plus 8 plus 5?
7.
Oh, boy.
Oh. Yeah, it's 22.
7. No, it's 23.
Jesus Christ.
I was wondering how long I could take let the joke go.
So it is.
What is it? 25?
I mean, I'll happily take 25.
No.
No, it's going to take 23 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
Thank God it's not inorganic material.
I was gonna say, how's this statue doing though?
Yeah, anything else that's in that 10-foot sphere, because I centered it on him.
Oh boy.
So it would be. So yeah, in that 10-foot radius, any inorganic stuff, so like wall, stone, stuff like that, is also going to take damage because it doesn't care who it hits. But that hold up. That's the base spell. I cast it at a higher level. Hold on, I need to roll 2 more dice. 34 points of thunder damage. There we go. That's better.
So that's a 34 on top of or just 34 total?
No, 34 total, because I rolled 3d8. It's supposed to be 5d8, because all my spells automatically are 4th level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So minus 34. Got it. Okay. Cool. And also, the altar that's underneath it doesn't make the save. I rolled some saves for everything else around, and the altar just obliterates, splinters off, and shatters. The statue is safe. It wobbles a little bit, and yeah, if you have any movement, take it. Otherwise, it's the corpse flower's turn next.
I'll just step a little bit back, so Feder and Yusuf have some room to get out, and I'm just like, might want to move. That's it.
Okay, so then it's the flowery fella's turn, and you notice that some tentacly vines shoot out from it and start to wildly slap around to find the corpses that are sticking out, jutting out from its flowers, and manages to wrap around one of the legs that are jutting out, and it pulls a rotted but still somewhat preserved corpse, and it pulls it out, yanks it, and then slams it into its, well, I guess since you're looking at it on its side, its head, and just shoves it inside itself, and you notice that some of the vines are like feeling nourished from this decay being absorbed into the thing, and it takes some health back.
Okay. A corpse flower that stores and consumes undead flesh for healing and nourishment is probably the grossest, yet most interesting thing I've ever witnessed. Secondhand. It's ew, obviously, but also kind of cool. And that kind of reminds me, I'm getting a bit hungry. Let's table this story for now and come back to it after I've had a nice hearty salad. Don't worry, before you know it, we'll be right back in the thick of it. All in these demon days.
Test my recording device one more time. Test my recording app, the software. It's recording. We're all good. I am a person. All right, let's clap it out, and it'll be 3, 2, 1, and clap like before. And then 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh. All right, cock, lock, and ready to rock. All right, let's count in 3, 2, 1, and go. So 3, 2, 1, and clap. All right.
Yep, I've got a line on mine too, so I picked it up.
You got some lines?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Perfect. Okay, so then I will get started. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you not have a line, Drew? We have the same mic. You should have a line.
Do we need to do it again? It's not the bloopers. There's going to be a lot of me for like the past couple minutes just being like, clap, 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 clap. Hello, everybody. One-sided conversations.
It's okay. I'm still rolling, so you'll get bloopers from me.
What if you did, can you do like a click with your mouth and make it register?
I mean...
Or, like that?
My clap line isn't... Oh my god. My clap line isn't big either, but it's there.
All right.
You gotta really get up there.
Rolling, testing.
So, should we do
it? Yep.
All right, ready? Drew, you ready? Okay, speeding. All right. You good? All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and clap.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks
John,
to the internet.
Line there too.
I can promise you, John, mine's an editor's dream.
Are your,
look more like...
are your claps just not good enough, babe? Is that what's going on? I mean, my microphone. My mic is.
It does sound inappropriate for
right now. Yeah, I'm getting like little. When you were clapping, there was like little blurps on my audio.
The little blurps.
Little blurps.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. This is gonna be like 3 perfect ones for Johnny. This will be. This is for the gold. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the sound of one hand clapping, Drew?
Babe, you might need to close your door because my microphone's picking your sound up. Even with the noise cancel, even with RTX running.
The thing to do that we used to do as kids is just like flop our wrists around like this and then kind of go.
Just that real meaty.
Yeah.
All those real meaty slaps for everybody.
Okay, yeah, just why don't you do that? So 3, 2, 1, and clap.
Yeah,
From you, okay?
the claps are giving me the same register as like snaps.
Okay.
Snaps and claps, man. Snaps and claps.
Okay, just say it. Clap as fast as you can, as loud as you can. And if my ear goes deaf in editing, that's the slate point. All right, so ready? 3,
Speeding.
2. Oh my God.
Sorry. Sorry.
All right, we'll get this. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, and clap.
It's a girthy,
All right,
distinctive
About
line.
10 seconds in, so there
10
you
seconds
go.
in. 10 seconds. Drew, you said 10 seconds in?
Yeah.
My final one is like almost 7 minutes in because I've been rolling this whole time
Nice.
for bloopers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ. All right.
Okay. All right, let's do this.
Getting it done.